the women from The View, those hosts that we love to hate. They had Rachel Maddow on, who was like a famous lesbian MSNBC host. Is she on MSNBC or CNN? I'm not quite sure, guys. Anyways, that's besides the point. She goes on The View. They talk all thing Harris, Liz Cheney, that warmongering rhino. We got a lot to discuss. As always, make sure you like today's video. Thanks for watching and subscribe to Bring the Asteroid. Check out our YouTube store and we'll get right into it.
There's no reason, I think, to have it be, there be this fantasy that Biden's not the president and that Biden isn't the nominee. He is and he's going to be. And I think that's a fixed variable.
Well, a little change on that since
You don't say.
Rachel was here last. She's back today to catch up on all the twists and turns of this insane presidential race and how she's reminding voters about the scandal that led to you-know-who's first impeachment, her new documentary, From Russia with Lev. Please welcome back Rachel Maddow.
Little humble pie, anyone?
I know. I hate to start with dunking. You're so rarely wrong in political forecasts.
You are very kind to say that. I'm always wrong.
Were you surprised? Were you shocked by the news when Biden did step out? And do you believe Kamala Harris was the best choice to replace him?
So, A, humble pie. B, I feel like the universe feeds us things like this back just to keep us, keep our egos in check a little bit. This is a good reminder. Don't believe anything anybody says, right? Like you're saying. I was as surprised as anybody when President Biden dropped out, but it shows you the power of a debate. I mean, we've never had a debate as consequential in American history as that last debate. In 5 minutes in that debate, his presidency became a one-term presidency. The Democrats changed their candidate. It was a month before the conventions, and it's an all-new general election. I mean, which makes...
Yeah, it's like, wow, Democrats finally had to admit that Joe Biden is senile, which is something that Republicans have been saying since before he was even elected president. Thank you. You guys finally, like, they always end up agreeing with the conservative. Well, not always, but like with COVID, masks, vaccine, they're still pretty pro-vax, but you get the gist. Usually it just takes a few years and then they kind of admit what we've been saying has been true, you know?
Makes me feel humble and worried about what's going to happen tonight.
Yes.
I mean, anything could happen. I'm braced for anything from 0 to a million.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of momentum right now behind Vice President Harris' campaign, and now both Dick and Liz Cheney have endorsed her, and Liz Cheney even said she would campaign for Harris. So did you, one, ever think you'd see the day when the Cheney family endorsed a Democrat? And two, do you think it could or will affect more moderate independents or right-leaning independents?
I mean, it's bananas. It's like mice endorsing cats, you know? Vampires endorsing garlic. Like it doesn't even compute, but that tells you how far away we are from normal politics in this election. This is not about, oh, we have differences of opinion about taxes or foreign policy. No. This is about, are we going to have the American system of government anymore? And there are almost no things on which I agree with Dick Cheney, but Dick Cheney and I agree that we should keep the American system of government. And so,
That's an important agreement. Now you were talking about humble pie
Hold on
earlier.
1 sec. I just want to ask you, do you think it'll make any difference, though?
maybe. I mean, endorsements, I think, can be oversold in terms of what they do, but it is a powerful message, I think, to say, we can disagree on most things in politics, but agree that we need to stand up for keeping elections, for keeping the system by which...
Or the appearance of elections, if you're not someone that completely buys all the BS going on.
If you're voted out, you have to leave, and you don't get to mount a riot to try to stay. To understand that, like, the pro-democracy coalition is much bigger than any one party, and that's, in this election, that's the Harris coalition.
And it has to be country before party, right? Now, we talked about humble pie earlier, so I apologize for this next question. The first debate between the vice president and the former president is tonight, right here on ABC. What are your predictions for what we will see tonight?
her.
Whatever I say,
Yeah.
pick the opposite. I mean, I really don't know. I feel like we know a little bit about what Trump is like in a presidential debate in this time of his life, because we saw him with Joe Biden. And with the Biden debate, it was obviously very overshadowed by the people's worries about Biden's performance and what that led to and everything. But if you look back, and Alyssa, you mentioned this earlier today, by the end of that debate, Trump was like rambling about his golf handicap.
Yes, he was.
And was getting really weird and
The
incoherent.
back half was bad.
But you never heard about it.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nobody
Overshadowed.
talked about it.
Yes.
Nobody talked.
He is a little incoherent now, and I'm interested to see whether he can kind of hold it together and whether that falls apart after the first few minutes,
Yeah.
which I think is
Which is not what happened, and I'm sure I will find some good clips to show you guys about the highlights from that debate, so subscribe and stay tuned.
kind of his performance level right now. But with Kamala Harris, she's a very good debater, but she hasn't debated anybody in 4 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But she'll be
yeah.
fine.
And she can barely string together a coherent sentence, or just one that isn't just her repeating nonsense repeatedly, as I just repeated the word repeated. Interesting.
Think so?
I think so. But to the miracle of television, I can show you a clip of how erratic he has been. Watch this clip.
So I have a choice of electrocution or shock. You know what I'm going to take? Electrocution. I will take electrocution every single time. Do we agree? The late, great Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man. I guarantee, if Jesus came down and was the vote counter, I would win California, okay?
Okay. So
First of all, the idea that would be Jesus' first priority.
Right.
Jesus is coming back. First thing I need to do is flip California to the Republican Party.
the disrespect to Jesus should be a deal breaker right there, but it's not. I mean,
Okay, you guys are a bunch of pro-choice liberals. Your existence is a disrespect to Jesus.
the other day he wished a happy birthday to Our Lady, to the Madonna, not Madonna Cuccione, whatever her name is, to the Madonna. He wished her a happy birthday. Did you see that?
Yes, yes.
I never saw such insanity. But I think that the press has been a little easier on him than they were on Biden regarding his erratic talking and his age. He's not that much younger. He's going to be.
Did this woman just literally say that the press is easier on Trump than Biden? How can anyone trust a single word coming out of this woman's mouth?
80 in the middle of his next term.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? I mean, except for us.
I think that he gets graded on a curve. I mean, if you start saying, I want to be electrocuted instead of bit by a shark, which is going to happen
He's
because of the
afraid
way
of
we
sharks.
build boats, but he's afraid of windmills, too.
Yeah, the
I mean, he was
windmills.
afraid
Yeah,
of
the
windmills. It's
windmills.
really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
The windmills literally kill innocent birds all the time. It's a disgrace. And what if there's no wind? It doesn't work. Shut up.
Don Quixote was afraid.
Yes.
And he was mentally ill, though.
Yeah, I was going to say that didn't work out well.
Don Quixote was.
So when you say things like that, when you say I'm going to lock up all my political opponents, when you say it's going to be a bloodbath if I lose, when you say all of these things that are completely off the chart in terms of radicalism and bizarreness, then every new bizarre thing needs to hit this really high bar in order to count as news. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's a bad thing. We all need to recalibrate
But the
all
media
the time.
is normalizing this crazy
Yes.
behavior, and that has to change now.
I agree.
Starting right now.
I agree.
Tell the media.
When we have our meeting, we'll bring it up.
Oh my gosh. I cannot stand any of them. They're all so insufferable and makes me question my existence. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.